Morning guys, hope you're well. Welcome to DOdaily. It's Des here. Who's ready to attack the day? Who's ready to wake up to walk? Definitely in need of getting back out on the Robin Hood way this morning. I'll come back to that a little bit later. Just let you know where I am. Just do a bit of a 360. Just in the distance there is the town of Southall. I'm starting today in a place called Brackenhurst. Those locally might be aware of the agricultural college. Just walked through a farm and the college grounds itself, and I'm heading towards the Minster, passing through the town and then heading out back towards Sherwood Forest and in Mansfield direction to the northwest. About 14 miles northeast of Nottingham along the A612. Just followed that road. So like I say, really sort of looking forward to getting back to the Robin Hood way. The 112-mile trek from Nottingham Castle up to the Major Oak in Sherwood Forest, passing through several interesting points along the way. It's been a couple of weeks since I did this, and so much has happened since. Just dawned on me that it seems like forever since I finished at this exact point, with 2 epic weekends. The last 7 days have been particularly epic, So it's great to sort of get back to do what I love doing on a Friday morning. And like I've said already a couple of times, I really need it. Feeling just a bit under the weather, just perhaps things have caught up with me a little, or just picked up some sort of bug. It's not COVID, thankfully. I think I've got a touch of tonsillitis. I get it quite often. So whilst it'd be easy to mope about, stay in bed, I've dragged myself up because we've also got plenty of things to do straight after this. But it's important for me to get out, get some fresh air, use it for all those reasons I try to pass across. When we're not feeling great, it's good to get out and clear the mind and sort of get some fresh air, wake up, use the blue light, although it's not particularly bright today. Bit of a tricky morning in terms of the weather as well, but that's never going to put me off. This getting out, doing this and just seeing what I can see now, it's just one of the reasons why I can do it. I'll just show you again as I get a bit closer. You can just see the Minster there, really impressive building, and when I get there I'll take lots of pictures, post them up on the end. Just a little bit about Southall. It is a town. Early in the 19th century they were thinking about making it a city, but that never got passed through, so it's still got its town council status. I've told you kind of where it is in locality, almost right in the middle of Nottinghamshire, although it's classed as northern because there's lots of sort of rural lands a bit further north than Southall itself, so it's classed as one of the more northern places in the county. But like I say, it's almost bang in the middle if you look at it on a map. It's of course famous for the Minster. It's famous for the racecourse as well, and one of the big sort of things people mention about Southall, Southwell, I've called it Southall a lot already, is how you pronounce it. Being from where I'm from, I'll probably call it Southall, but lots of people, particularly who live here, will call it Southwell. Place is very affluent, very well to do. It was interesting reading Wikipedia that it said it's a bit of an anomaly in Nottinghamshire between the less affluent towns of Newark and Mansfield. Very well known for, like I say, being an affluent place to be. Really nice place, really sort of picturesque and an interesting place to visit. Ironically, myself and Kay were passing through a few weeks ago and we stopped off just to have a walk round, have a look. Whilst it is 14 miles northeast of Nottingham, I've not really been here that much, so it'd be interesting for me to pass through again today. on that visit, I noticed a lot of the signs for the Robin Hood Way, so I knew I'd be heading back in this direction. So really looking forward to it, really looking forward to getting in a few miles, you know, for all those reasons I mentioned before, but just because it's what I love doing as well. You know, being out here, you know, really can't sort of emphasize how important it is, you know, particularly when you're not feeling great, but just to really attack the day, to keep going. The focus on Do Daily this week has been about pushing on, and whilst the start of the week really busy and using those words because I was really busy, it's become more and more relevant as the week's passed on, because I've not felt great, I've had even more to do, I've had to get back to bits and bobs of work, you know, and all these things that we have to keep doing. So it's just important, isn't it? And like I said today, it'd be really easy not to do this and make an excuse for being ill and you know, and just sort of missing it for another week. But I'd already missed last week, so like I say, it felt like a long time anyway, you know. And as soon as I got onto the route there, started to think about what I was going to say, everything come flooding back to me, you know. The last 2 weeks, I always say I use it to sort of reflect on what's happened, you know, and I definitely did that there. And that's great, because straight away I'm thinking about what I've done and puts a smile on my face again. Do you know, if I had laid in bed this morning and felt sorry for myself and felt ill, still feel it, you know, but if I were lay there, I probably wouldn't put any thought into it. Do you know, and what we have to do is sort of keep remembering all these things, enthuse about it, enjoy it for as long as you possibly can. Earlier in the week, I learned something about sort of when you are having a good time, make sure you get plenty of sleep, because it helps sort of preserve the memories in your head. You know, something I didn't know about. So I've been really making an effort with that, really trying to sort of get to bed, because it's been such an amazing time. And like I say, without sort of getting up this morning, I've probably gone back to sleep and I wouldn't be thinking about it. And what we have to do is keep it all fresh. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the good times, enjoying everything that's amazing around you. For me personally, I've had a great time around friends and family, and of course celebrating Kay's big birthday. You know, that's absolutely brilliant, and the fact that everybody can come together again. But this morning I can look back on it in my own space, in the serenity of these open fields, with a bit of fresh air, and with the thought of getting a few more miles activity in as well. And that's a really important part of what we do, isn't it? Whilst again being ill, it'd be easy not to do it. You know, the activity is so important. Inactivity creates more inactivity, you know, and I always say activity and movement creates positivity, and that's all I'm looking to do, is sort of pick myself back up, dust myself down a little bit, go again, push on to another exciting weekend. Not quite the same as what I had last week. They were really sort of epic and out there plans and things I don't do that often. This weekend, straight after the video, ties in quite nicely actually, because we're 14 miles closer than we would be. We're heading to the coast. Kay's parents got a caravan, so we get used to that as and when we can. Just for a couple of days. We'll be back first thing Sunday morning to pick up the running groups and finish the weekend off and sort of settle back in before really getting back to it next week. But again, it's just a nice way, isn't it, to look ahead, you know, to make the most of everything we got. After last week, we could have quite easily said, well, we'll give it a miss this week, but why? You know, why should we? You know, we all work really hard, and when things are there for us to take advantage of, that's exactly what we have to do. You know, and that's the point, isn't it? It's about pushing on. It's so easy to use tiredness and illness as an excuse. Don't get me wrong, if people are really really ill and sort of really run down, then they have to take a break. I speak about that a lot. But right now, I just feel it's about pushing on, you know, making the most of everything we got. For me, it's this, you know, using the mornings to really attack the day. Been a little bit frustrated with my own personal activity, not through my own fault, but through injury. So again, it's a case of going back to the drawing board, going back to basics, and really sort of seeing what works. A great sort of bedrock for me this time last year, when I wasn't feeling great as well, was to start with these walks, you know, to get plenty of miles in my legs that way. You know, hopefully I can do that again, and I can keep pushing on towards getting back to full fitness, getting back to where I need to be in that sense. The one sort of frustration I've got with that is I'm feeling great about everything. I'm feeling absolutely amazing. But if I had the running, if I had all the sort of, what's the word? If I could see the light at the end of the tunnel with that, you know, I'd be absolutely flying. You know, I'm flying anyway, but I'd be really on top of things. But that's, sometimes we have to accept the way it is and just keep pushing on. Do you know, all I ever say is we go again. Do you know, today getting back to this route is just a perfect example of that. Do you know, I hadn't forgot, but you almost sort of take things for granted sometimes, how important it is getting out today. You know, all those memories, short memories just from the last week or two come flooding back. All those memories from the walk, you know, from the previous 50-60 miles, whatever I've done, come flooding back too. And when you remember all those things, you remember exactly why you do it. You remember where the determination and dedication to keep going really sets in. And that's kind of the message today, guys. Just keep pushing through. You know, whatever's thrown at you, use what you enjoy. It's definitely what I'm doing. I'm not letting things I'm not forgetting things, despite the fact I'm really trying to drive on. Got lots of plans, tying one or two things up around, do running and do daily, just to sort of move on to the next thing, because that's the way I am. Like to think I never stop. You know, and people sometimes kind of say that as if it's a negative thing. Absolutely not. You know, if that's what they think, that's up to them. I'll keep pushing on, because when I am, you know, I'm making the most of life. I'm enjoying myself, and I'm doing what I have to do. Oh, sorry, camera fell upside down there. Just to show you again, just another closer shot. The Minster's there, just getting into Southall, the town now. So whatever you're doing, have a great weekend. Like I say, I'll be taking in the fresh air. We were just saying in the car, in the short journey we've made so far, we probably need it. Kay's not been feeling fantastic either. So getting out the city, getting to the coast and the seaside, just like this morning, probably do us the world of good and put us back on a level footing for the week ahead and getting back to work. Don't forget to get in plenty of activity. If you can, get out for a walk, get out for a run, do all the things that you enjoy. Just before I go, I'll just reflect back to the coaching session last night. The guys come and they wasn't quite feeling it. I wasn't quite feeling it. Do you know, the weather's not been great. There was a few negative things happening, do you know. And what I had to say to them is, remember to enjoy what we do. Do you know, for example, I say I love running, but sometimes you can forget, do you know, why you love it and what you do, and you can turn up or approach it in the wrong frame of mind. Do you know, I quite often do it, and if you remember, it's not easy, but it's great. Do you know, like the walking this morning, it's not always easy to jump out of bed and do it, but I'm already really sort of grateful to myself that I did it. Do you know, remember why you love it, get out, do plenty of activity. Take a Saturday selfie if you can, post them on the social media. The links will be at the end of the video. It'll be great to keep inspiring and motivating people when you're not feeling fantastic about yourself. And I've just noticed everybody's getting a little bit overwhelmed. I heard something on 5 Live this week about people are almost waiting for COVID to hit them. Let's not be on the back foot with this one. Let's keep attacking it. Really interesting piece actually, but it's just, again, it's about pushing through, isn't it? And all I'm trying to do is relate that to what I've just said there about people and almost approaching things on the back foot. Let's keep pushing on. Make an effort to show motivate and inspire people what you're doing, and you'll feel great about yourself. Have a great weekend, guys. Once again, keep pushing on, keep doing what you have to do, and do it with a smile on your face. If you do, I promise you everything will fall into place, just like it's getting there for me, just doing it.